Beginning with an aspiration. For the sake of all beings, may there be compassion, wisdom, and non-clinging awareness. Om Aham. And I invite you to settle into a comfortable yet alert posture. This morning, I'm going to take us on something of an extended meditation on the theme of gratitude. I did a short gratitude meditation on the Facebook morning meditations earlier last week, and people really resonated with it. And I think it's a beautiful theme for an Easter weekend, whatever we celebrate or don't celebrate, the themes of spring, again, a resurrection, a beginning, a new growth, the themes of looking for what is renewing, what is present, what is beautiful, even in the darkness or the difficulties, the challenges facing the world, the pandemic we are living under and coexisting with, the compassionate actions we're doing our best to take and make to help us and other beings. Most people are staying home so other people don't get infected, so that they don't inadvertently become exposed and become even a non-symptomatic carrier. It, yes, is an act of self-preservation as well, but it's for a great many human minds and hearts right now, it's an act of generosity and an act of compassion and an act of interconnectedness. So it's a beautiful thing. So the theme of gratitude has been arising for me a fair bit, partly because of feeling grateful for the many small and large gestures, actions, thoughts, and deeds of compassion and goodness and kindness that we're seeing to refresh our spirits, refresh our hopes. And also, frankly, because the human mind in this body, like the human mind in your body, at times is focusing on what's not going right, focusing on what's wrong, what's dark, what's frightening, what's out of our control, focusing on death and loss, focusing on the fatigue, the depression, the despair in the world. So in a Dr. Heal Thyself moment, I also cultivated the gratitude practice, knowing I needed to remind this mind to look for what's working, not just focus on what's not, to look for the kindnesses and the compassions, the abundant examples of that, not just for what's not working or for what we wish was different. So there we go, a little preamble for this meditation on gratitude together. So I invite you to relax your body into an alert yet supported, kind posture. And you'll likely want to do this meditation with eyes closed. It's your choice if you wish to meditate eyes open, particularly if you, like me, are able to look at something beautiful, the way the computer is situated. If I look above the screen, I'm looking out the window of the dining room and I'm seeing forest and trees and Maple Mountain, and it's a beautiful sunshiny day. If you wish to work with eyes open, I invite you to look out a window at something beautiful as a way to help brighten and lighten the heart around gratitude. So in a comfortable, relaxed, yet alert posture. I hear birds tweeting. I hear doggy toenails clicking. I hear the stirrings of my own good heart. And I invite us all to bring our attention to the physical body as it is right now, in our chair or on our bench or our cushion, maybe on our favorite cushy couch at home right now, wherever the body is situated, wherever the not you has sat the body this morning. Bringing the attention, inviting the focus into the direct experience of the body being. And allow the body to go about its business, its extraordinary business of a heart that is beating, of lungs that are breathing, of kidneys and liver that are filtering, of guts that are digesting, protecting, nutrimenting. Bringing some gratitude to this precious human body. The body within which we can hear and study the Dharma, the body within which we can move through the world helping beings, being of service, being a light in the darkness, the body which still works because we're gathered here today. Your body, your mind, your ears and your eyes, your hearing, your seeing, they all function, perhaps not as well as they used to, perhaps not as well as we'd wish. But this is a precious human body. The Buddha taught that it's only in the precious human body that we can hear the Dharma, study the Dharma, train the mind. The precious human body allows us to do that. Gratitude. Cultivating gratitude for this body with its aches and pains, with its fractures or illnesses, with its chronic diseases, with its paralyzed limbs, whatever body we're in right now, gratitude. Gratitude for this body. And I invite you to make this more tangible and choose a part or a function of your body to be particularly grateful for right now. Maybe it's the legs that let you go hiking on the beach. Maybe it's the arms that let you hug or virtually hug a loved one. Maybe it's the lips that taste that first sip of beautiful Darjeeling tea or single origin Guatemalan coffee. The tongue, the taste buds. Maybe it's the mind, the brain. Maybe it's your left elbow, choosing one and then perhaps another. I am grateful for this body. I am grateful for these lungs. I am grateful for these lips that can smile. Gratitude. And now I invite you, if you're practicing eyes closed, to open your eyes and to gently and slowly look around the room you're in. Probably most of you are meditating inside, so you're on your internet. If you're outside, take the same instruction and slowly look around your environment. But I'm going to assume most of us are in a room, probably in our own home, as we shelter in place, as we self-isolate. And I want you to contact your true gratitude for things within this room. What are you grateful for about your space? Is it a painting that someone did for you on your 50th birthday? Is it an ornament you've brought back from travels to remind you of a time and place where you really sunk into being in the moment? Is it a living thing, a pet, a coffee plant, a beloved? Is it a favorite piece of furniture, your cuddle couch or your study chair or your tea kettle? And in your own time and in your own space, just looking around, looking and noticing things you're grateful for. gratitude. Four walls, a roof, heat, safety from the elements. Gratitude. And now closing your eyes if you wish. You may wish eyes open this whole meditation if you wish. Gratitude for your living environment, your home, the beings you share that space with, if you do, and you do share it with beings. You share it with bugs and bacterias and the birds outside your windows. Gratitude. And letting that gently fade away. And now bringing to mind some of the things you're grateful for about being asked to quarantine, self-isolate, shelter in place. Grateful that we have the opportunity to do that safely and well. Bring your attention to the foods in your fridge and your pantry. Bring those to mind right now. Visualize in your mind's eye some of the things, some of the foods, the beverages, the ingredients that are currently in your fridge, in your pantry. The abundance of healthy, wholesome foodstuffs. Food we can trust won't make us sick. It won't poison us. It's not contaminated. Your freezers may be full of food that can carry you through weeks or more of nutriment, as the Buddha called it. Bringing to mind your fridge, your freezers, your pantries. And seeing as best you're able if you can connect with gratitude. That you're in a position to have healthy food. And then I invite you to choose one food object. And let's explore the interconnectedness, the interweaving of good hearts and minds that have brought that food to your fridge or your pantry. Choose one food that's in your home right now. And I want you to trace its origin story from now back to the beginning. When did you get this food? How and where did you go if you went to get this food? Or was it delivered in a grocery order? And if so, who packaged it? Put it in that bin, that box, that bag, put it in the vehicle, drove it to your address, left it at your door. If the food came from a store, a grocery store, a farmer's market, a roadside stand, either if you know or you can imagine where it came from, where it was purchased from or packaged and brought to you. Presumably, most of us purchased this ourselves or someone in our home did. I want you to think of that place. Let's say it's the local grocery store. Thrifty Foods here in our community. I want you to think of the incredible number of human beings that were involved in bringing that food to the point where you purchased it or it was delivered and it's now in your home. Grocery store management companies and corporate deciders who decided to keep the grocery stores open, who are working tirelessly to source product, to get product delivered. And we could spend an hour thinking about that part of this origin story. Where was this food grown, manufactured, processed? All the beings involved in that process. Where and how was this food picked or packaged or boxed or labeled? Where and how was it placed on some sort of transport? And how many human beings were involved in that train, that aircraft, that truck, that donkey cart, to bring that food from A to B? And the shippers and receivers at the Thrifty's grocery store or wherever you're imagining bringing that food, bringing it out, stocking it in the shelves or the produce bin of lush, crisp apples from New Zealand. My goodness, a world away. And of course, particularly now, perhaps for the first time, as a nation, as a globe, we're feeling profound gratitude to grocery store workers. The young man, fresh out of high school, his first job, who simply carries crates of stuff from here to there and stocks the shelves. Gratitude. He's on the front lines, risking much more exposure to the COVID-19 virus than the rest of us. Gratitude. The man or the woman running the till, charging your purchases, helping you with your transaction, bagging the groceries, the junior managers, the senior managers, the abundance of human beings involved in keeping that store open, the electric company, the hydro company, the janitorial staff, the maintenance of the building, the amount of interconnectedness, gratitude for beings that are going to work. Some of them are afraid. Some of them are afraid they'll get exposed, and they're afraid not for themselves, but maybe their children, their elders, their spouse, bringing the virus home. Gratitude that stores providing food remain open for us. That's love. That's loving kindness. That's compassion, gratitude. And take a moment or two just in your mind's eye to think of all the other human beings involved in that simple piece of food that you chose for this part of the meditation that's currently in your pantry or your freezer or your fridge. Gratitude for what sometimes we take for granted in our busyness, in our self-focus, and in our what the Buddha would call ignorance, not seeing what's there. We often miss how deeply, profoundly connected we are. Gratitude. And letting that gently fade away. Gratitude for all beings involved in any form of healthcare work right now and always, before this time and after this time. Bringing to mind someone in your own healthcare team, even if you haven't seen them in months, I hope, but your own physician or nurse practitioner, a nurse you know and love. I know there's several of you on the call right now. Your dentist, dental assistants, chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, speech therapists, psychologists, counselors, all the medical medical personnel, everyone at the hospital, the x-ray technician who was called in on her on-call day to take film of a Dharma teacher's ankle. Gratitude. You can send your gratitude out in a general form to all the healthcare workers. That includes the custodial teams. Everybody is an interconnected web of care, from the surgeon to the person cleaning the floor and everyone in between. Gratitude. You can send your gratitude out in general form. You can think of persons in your family and your friendship circle who've been in the medical field previously or today. I'm thinking of Jill in New Jersey, the niece of my best friend. Jill's a PhD nurse practitioner. She's the head of where she's working. There are no MDs on staff. She and her nursing team in New Jersey are inundated with horrifying COVID-19 cases. Anyone over 80 who appears at her facility is automatically denied a respirator, which is a death sentence. They're having to decide every day who lives and who dies in New Jersey, in the USA. This is the impact. Gratitude to Jill, to her staff. And as she said the other day, I'm keeping my head down. I'm doing what I have to do. I'll have PTSD when it's all done. Every day, as she says it, she has to condemn someone's granddad or grandmother to likely die because there's not enough respirators. Gratitude for the nobility and the courage and the true compassion of all the heroes, from the woman driving her truck on the BC ferry to take goods from point A to point B so we can have food, to your neighbor who puts out a stuffed dog with a respirator mask on and says, keep positive, PAWS, former nurse, retired nurse. Just a sweet little warming of the heart to keep us going. Gratitude for all the interconnected beings doing as small or as huge a step as they can, including each of you, myself, doing what we can, sometimes by staying home, sometimes by helping, sometimes by gathering on a Sunday morning to be in contact with our good, gracious hearts. Gratitude. Gratitude for the people in your personal circle, friends, Dharma friends. We've gathered so many of us, recognizing our names of our friends in our community in this chat box. Gratitude for those in our close and far family, our families of blood, our families of choice. Spend a few minutes bringing to mind the gratitude you have for any beings in your family of blood or your family of choice. Bringing them to mind, near or far, perhaps very near, but you haven't seen them in person. I have a mother a kilometer away. I have a brother and sister-in-law, gosh, a few hundred meters away. We haven't met in person in going on 3 weeks, but we see each other online and we text. Gratitude for those near and far. And it really feels like everybody's physically far right now, except perhaps a being or two or three you share your home with. Gratitude for the interconnectedness, for the fact that even when we feel terribly alone, and even if we live solo in a very isolating time, gratitude for the knowledge we're not alone. John on Gabriola in his little home, not alone. None of us alone. Even if we're solo, not alone. Gratitude bringing to mind family, friends, our community of interconnected beings. Gratitude. And to whatever degree it fits for you, I believe most of us on this particular class are Canadians. We've probably got a few from further afield joining us here online. But gratitude to all the persons in administration, in government, in decision making, in task forces, the health officers, whatever your illusory politics stories may be, gratitude for the beings attempting to the greatest of their capacity. They're changing every hour data and knowledge source, attempting to support on the individual and country, the provincial and municipal levels, and the global levels, supporting beings, whether that's through financial benefits, whether that's through decisions on testing, whether that's through Second City, an improv and comedy sketch troupe originated in Chicago. The secondary site is Toronto. 3 times a week, they're offering improv comedy online. If you wish, you can donate to unemployed actors. That's how some leaders are giving. Here's the gift of connected amusement. Here's the gift of laughter. Our own Neil having community online dance parties. Yes, we will send you the information so people can go on their computer and watch Neil DJ and choose songs and dance. Gratitude for all the leaders, through the leaders of countries, the leaders of the COVID task forces. I think all of us in BC feel gratitude for Bonnie Henry, Adrian Dix, the public voices and informations of how day by day we should best approach our activities and our choices in difficult times. Gratitude for leaders, countries, whatever we may feel, whatever judgments may arise. These are human beings attempting to help the best they can moment by moment, in this moment, with what they and we know. So gratitude in whatever way fits authentically for you right now. Gratitude for leaders, for government programs, for social services, for healthcare. Gratitude. And bringing to mind now, if it fits for you, gratitude, depending where you are and what the weather is, gratitude for spring, for new beginnings. Here on Vancouver Island, it's a beautiful day, cool and warming quickly, beautiful blue spring sky, tiny, tiny trace of clouds. I'm looking at beautiful cedar trees, Douglas firs, shifting in a breeze. I'm looking across at a beautiful mountain. If I turn my head, I see a beautiful ocean, the physical beauty of nature. And one of the things we're finding through this pandemic as the world stays inside, coyotes have been seen walking across major city bridges. A cougar walking down the streets in a Canadian major city. The Himalayas visible from Indian metropolis for the first time in decades because the smog is reducing. Los Angeles able to see the stars because the smog has dissipated. Gratitude for the natural world and for our observing of the phenomenon I just mentioned that remind us we are not the masters of this planet. We are courteous members of a global sentient being community. Gratitude. May we be more and more courteous coming out of this difficult time. May we remember the beauty, the grace of Mother, Father, Nature. And may we treat her, him, and all sentient beings with more compassion, less arrogance, remembering we're not number one. We are one of many. And yet, as we covered in the beginning of this meditation, we are gifted with the gift of precious human birth, which allows us to study Dharma and to learn from past actions and choose to change unwholesome actions and make wholesome choices moving forward. May we do that for ourselves, for so-called humanity, and for the planet and all the sentient beings upon. Gratitude for the interconnectedness of nature and all sentience. Gratitude. Gratitude for Dharma, for teachings of sanity amidst chaos, for teachings of how to work with the mind when it is frightened, when the overload of changing information can sometimes feel too much. Gratitude for the opportunity to connect in this way, to read books on Dharma and meditation, to access supportive teachings, practices. Gratitude that each of us in our own unique ways have found our way to the path of meditation, the path of training the mind, the path of warming and opening the heart. I am personally deeply, deeply grateful for the teachers that have had the patience and the grace so far in this life to attempt to help this being tame this mind and bring more of the wholesome forward and reduce the unwholesome. It's quite a challenge for each of us, isn't it? Gratitude for all the teachers dating back to Shakyamuni Buddha and perhaps before, all the lineages. And gratitude for wise teachings that aren't defined as Dharma from any lineage, philosophical, religious, spiritual, any teachings of working with understanding the mind, any teachings of compassion, of wisdom, the teachings of Jesus to turn the other cheek, to act upon toward another as we would wish they would act to ourselves, the teachings of boundless compassion and wisdom in the Buddha form of Jesus Christ, Buddha being simply an awake being. And I don't think there's much argument that the historical or literal Jesus was an awake being of compassion, wisdom, and clarity, tirelessly as a bodhisattva, attempting to help all beings awaken. Gratitude for science, gratitude for philosophy, gratitude for secular practices that help us recognize our thoughts are not reality and recognize we can rewrite the story to a wholesome, compassionate, supportive story. Gratitude. And now, for a few minutes, I invite you to generate your own objects, persons, experiences, forms for which you feel gratitude, no matter how small. You may feel gratitude for that delicious piece of Easter chocolate you intend to melt on your tongue after class. Gratitude. You may feel deeply grateful for a friend who's been reaching out because you're having a tough week and they're making sure to send you a cartoon or a smile or a virtual hug. Take a few moments and bring to mind anything, anyone, any idea, any object for which you're feeling some gratitude. Boy, oh boy, I feel gratitude for the daffodils with their cheerful yellow faces, demanding wherever I look in my area that I remember that there's new growth after loss. Gratitude. Gratitude for daffodils. And now you, your own mind and heart, can call up some of yours, no matter how small, no matter how vast. This is a judgment-free meditation. Things, beings you feel grateful for or toward. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering in body and mind. When we feel fear or smallness, may we remember to connect with gratitude for the simplest and the broadest, the most small and the most influential, positive, wholesome, compassionate acts and deeds. May we remember again and again, always remembering one more time than we forget, to cultivate gratitude. So, I'm actually not going to teach a class now. What I'd like to hear in the chat box is something that came up for you that you feel grateful for. If you'd be willing to share that as a community. And let's share some of our gratitudes, and then we'll bring things to a close. A practice morning. I'm going to go have a little rest after this, and we'll come back together next Saturday at 10 a.m. for another Dharma class with more teaching in it. But I packed the teaching into that guided meditation. So there's gratitude for being here with each other. What's one thing? A few of you share, please, if you will. It's not required. Something that came up maybe toward the end when you thought of something, someone, big or small, no judgment, that you're grateful for. Grateful for my health, for the community, and a sense of connections to other. Beautiful. Grateful for the care aides looking after my mom in her care home. Blessings to your mom on this Easter Sunday, Heather. My goodness. Yes. For my heart opening in this meditation. Yes. My goodness. That's a beautiful, beautiful offering. Because our hearts can clench and be scared and be closed and be judgmental. When we hear about someone allegedly doing something unskillful or self-centered, we can feel such judgment and our heart can close. So our heart opening, let's be grateful always for that. Grateful that I have a job to go to every day, yes, and to help beings. Grateful for my kitten who gives me constant entertainment during self-isolation. Wonderful. Can I give a shout out to any of you who've been thinking of adding a four-legged to your home? Now is a wonderful time to adopt a critter. You've got time to be with the critter and adapt it to your household so you too can have four-legged support, love, and companionship. Gratitude to the bees buzzing around my window. Hallelujah, bees, we welcome you. Maybe they'll regenerate as we stay a bit out of their way. Gratitude for well-being, my own and my close family, my friends. All I know so far are healthy and well. Great, wonderful, grateful for the warmth and growth I experience. Yes. Gratitude for the Dharma, the memories of Easters in the past, and the renewals of spring. That's a lovely offering. Might be nice for us to remember Easters gone by. I made a quip at the beginning of the class to our neighbor, Anne. Are you going to send down some hot cross buns? Because she tends to bake all the beautiful sorts of traditional things my late grandmother used to bake. So I'm grateful for all the Easters with hot cross buns with my grandmother. Grateful for friends that are staying so connected. Grateful for living in a rural community. Yes, I hear you there. I think we all heartily agree, those of us in the rural areas. Grateful for living in a rural community where I can go for a walk and still maintain physical distance. Yes, yes, yes. Grateful for Dharma and meditation. Oh, and thank you. Grateful to be able to help my neighbors, younger, wonderful parents, by trying to cope with their work and the children running around. Wonderful. What a gift for them to have you nearby. Grateful for the capacity for gratitude. Right. No matter how frightened or broken or abused our hearts feel sometimes in our own lives, hearts are like the most renewable resource, even if it doesn't feel that way. The capacity for gratitude to renew again and again and again. Grateful to live on the best place on earth. Well, Brad, I think most of us agree. Brad's an hour from here. And I think as islanders, we're really experiencing our gratitude for the beautiful, beautiful place we live and the services we're so fortunate to be able to provide and receive. Gratitude for this virtual Sangha. Me too. That's other Cheryl, if you're confused. There's a few of us around. Thankful for the story of the struggle of your friend in Philly. Yes, actually in New Jersey. But yeah, I didn't intend to share that, but I felt it was an homage to her and to each and every healthcare worker right now. And it was beautiful that it arose to be shared. Grateful for fresh air, sunshine today, and my open heart. Well, you see, I couldn't have taught anything better than what you've just taught me and each other. So thank you so much for those. And on a fun little note, since a lot of us on this call know each other, not everybody, and we look forward to getting to know the rest of you very well. It was Neil's birthday yesterday. I don't think I will subject us in recorded form to Cheryl singing happy birthday. If I could unmute all of you, we'd do it. But Neil, know that we wish you an abundant year to come of awakening and compassion, of health and well-being for you and for all beings. Thank you for your support of getting these talks out to people and supporting them and knowing when they happen and when the teacher needs to suddenly change the date. So happy birthday, Neil. It was yesterday. So you're getting lots of shout outs now, Mr. Neil. And I think your mama's on the call as well. So I suspect her heart is bursting. So Neil becomes our symbolic birthday, our symbolic celebration of the death and birth and resurrection, because we can take our birthday as that year has died, it has passed away, and we're now stepping into a new year, a new beginning, a new arising. So many, many happy birthdays for Neil. Many, many happy birthdays to each of us, because today is our birthday. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. Don't think that that's a cliche. It's actually one of the most profound teachings we can ever remember. And just before we close, I know I have your good wishes for that. I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so I'm not going to teach a big old class. I just did. And I think that is the most beautiful way we could have gathered on Easter Sunday. But I'll leave you, as I tend to do, with maybe a bit of a chuckle. I was born 56 years ago, end of March, on an Easter Sunday. I came into the world that year. Easter Sunday fell early, and I was born on Easter Sunday. And they were trying to decide on my name. They had a couple of names in mind and were torn between a couple of them. And my grandfather, who was a great fun fellow, really, really great sense of humor, he said, well, you must call her Bunny. Yes, he was quite serious, apparently, that they should call me Bunny because, of course, I was born on Easter Sunday. And as I like to say, I'm extremely grateful, Mom and Dad, that you didn't take that bit of advice and call me Bunny, because no one would ever listen to Dr. Bunny Fraser. I just don't think it has the kind of cachet you're after when you're looking to maybe seek some advice from someone. And it's quite clear, with a name like that, I would have chosen a career in exotic dancing, and I hope I would have done very well in that field. So I am not Bunny. I am Cheryl. What is in a name? A bunny by any other name would smell just as chocolate. Oh, that was really bad, with apologies to Shakespeare. You see, I shouldn't really be riffing. Sending you much love and much gratitude for gathering. I'll be with you next Saturday for a full Dharma class. And I am intending to continue the morning meditations on Facebook this week, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. If you're not up to speed on those yet, all you allegedly need to do, I'm not so good at this stuff. If you're on Facebook, Google my professional page, which is Dr. Cheryl Fraser, not Dr. Bunny Fraser. And you like the page and follow the page. And then you'll be alerted, where you can just go click on the page at 9 a.m. I start the meditation. I usually start them very, very close to 9:00, but I find when I try to watch Facebook Lives, if I go a few minutes early, it can start and you're not seeing it, hit refresh. I'm sure you'll figure it out. So we'll meditate together, some of us this week, Monday through Friday, and I'll be with as many of you as can make it next Saturday at 10 a.m. We'll send out a reminder and the link. It'll be the same link as today, but we'll resend it just to make it as easy as possible. So thank you all. What a beautiful way to spend a morning. I'm very grateful to all of you because this was a tremendously precious meditation practice for me as well. Thank you. Thank you. Go be grateful. Bye for now.